Hello, beautiful people. This is it. Day 5. You made it. If you're doing this self-care challenge and you made it all the way through, congratulations. Today's class will be a little bit different from the other classes. It is yoga for motivation, but it's motivation for when we are feeling totally uninspired to do anything physical. And we have to be kind of coaxed into it. So that's what we're going to be doing. And the beauty of these slower movements before we get to more physical standing movements is that you can take time for what's called interoception. And interoception is noticing what the body feels like inside, really tuning in to what's going on physically with you. And I want to share a story with you because probably this is the best testimonial about interoception that I've ever heard. And it came from one of my students. But she's been practicing with me for a couple of years. And she just came, she usually doesn't say much or stay after class, but one day she felt inspired to come and talk to me. And she said, "You know, Lori, I just have to tell you that when you talk about interoception, I have really noticed how that works in my life. After I had heart surgery, the doctors told me if you're feeling any pain, call 911." So you can imagine after you've had surgery, open heart surgery, you're going to feel some pain. And she said, this yoga has enabled me to slow down, connect with my breath, and if I'm feeling pain, just noticing, okay, how severe is this pain? Can I still breathe? How long is it lasting? And you get the point. So she was able to determine what's just a normal, discomfort and what's actual pain that needs more attention. So that's a big deal. And it's an extreme deal, actually. But interoception, if you can imagine, on a day-to-day basis, is paying attention. You may have slept wrong and your shoulder is hurting. And taking time to just stop and notice, even in the morning when you wake up, maybe just do a couple breaths, moving the arms, and noticing, hey, how is my body feeling today? And how do I need to best take care of it? So that's my little story about interoception. The other thing that I wanted to address on this last day of the challenge is you have noticed, if you've done yoga before, that this is not the type of yoga that's taught everywhere. It is not exercise yoga. It is yoga for the nervous system. It is yoga for being able to meet our bodies, our life circumstances, where they are, and use the practice of yoga to feel balanced and our best selves. So that's what kind of yoga we're practicing together. And it may not be your kind of yoga. If you're somebody that prefers something that's more aerobic style, that is not this kind of yoga. There's a researcher in Germany, Holger Kramer, who does some fantastic research. He's in, I believe, Dusseldorf, and he's the head of integrative medicine at the hospital there. And yes, he's done lots of serious research, but one thing he says is the best yoga for people to do is the kind that they like. So I hope you like this kind of yoga because it will encourage you to keep coming back to it. And when you do it, you will feel the benefits. You will start to notice what you need to do when you're feeling stressed out, or what you need to do when you're feeling pain in a certain area, and maybe a different way to move. So That's what this kind of yoga is. And I'm glad you've joined me for these 5 days. I'm honored. And yes, keep looking for some more videos on YouTube. I post them pretty regularly so you can practice at home. And of course, I teach. I teach on Zoom, and I'd love for you to join me. Occasionally, I'll do some specific workshops. One that I like to do from time to time is called Yoga for Grown-ups. And it's for yoga for people, my age. I'm 66, but age 60 and older. And we address certain areas of the body, like yoga for the hips, for example. There's one. And then certain things that often we deal with as we age, one of them being sleep. And how can we do yoga that promotes the best sleep, and so on and so forth. And then I also am a mindfulness teacher, and I love teaching mindfulness. So you can also find some meditations on my YouTube channel, which is yoga. I'm sorry, that's my website. My website is Yoga with Laurie, and not to be confused with my YouTube channel, which is Laurie Walker Yoga. Yes, Laurie Walker Yoga on YouTube. And of course, that's where these videos are. So anyway, we're going to start practicing. Let's do it. Yoga for motivation. And like I said, we're going to start slowly. Okay, so welcome to Yoga for Motivation, the last of 5 days of self-care practice. And congratulations if you made it all the way through. If you're just going to try out Yoga for Motivation, this is the first time you're here with me, congratulations for getting to a class. So we're going to start by bringing the hands off of the lap and just kind of shake out the hands. I do a lot of this shaking because it resets the nervous system. It helps us shake off extra stress. All right, and then we'll bring the hands up, start to bring the palms up, breathe in. And then when you come down, exhale and firm the belly just slightly. So inhale, and when the arms come up, feel the ribs lift up. And then exhale, you can sigh if you want. Ha. And go one more, ribs lift, breathe in, look up. And on the exhale, firm the belly slightly. Ha, pushing out the breath. Yes, and then just come back to this neutral position. Our next pose is to move that right foot forward, and foot is on the floor, and the left hand palm is up. And I want you to take the fingers on that left hand. We did this in another practice. And bring in the pinky finger, 4, 3, 2, 1, as you breathe. And then exhale with the thumb, index, third, fourth finger. And we'll do that again. So inhale, bring in the pinky first, and then the other parts of the hand. And exhale, come back out. Now we're going to use that movement by connecting it with our opposite foot. So as you bring the pinky finger in and kind of curl up, just lift the toes on your opposite foot. And then exhale is putting the foot down and fingers come out. Do that again. Inhale, let the ribs kind of lift. And then exhale, letting go. And just go one more. Inhale, coming in. This is making our brain work. We're getting that fresh air coming in, oxygen, going to all parts of our body. Yeah, so our body can use that oxygen as fuel. And then come back down. Yeah, and then just bring that hand in, bring it down, bring that foot in. And we'll go to the other side. So step your other foot forward, foot's flat, right hand, palm is up. And we know how to do it now. So as you breathe in, we're going to bring in the pinky and then all the other fingers, and then let the foot come down and starting with the thumb coming out. Do that again. Breathe. Feel that breath come in. And then exhale, firm, push the breath out. Inhale, lift that toe, those toes, bring the fingers in. Exhale, one by one. And we'll go one more, lift those ribs up, breathe, and then just let it all out. Ha. Yeah. And then when I said we're starting slow, we're starting slow. So now we're going to move over back to this right foot and left arm. And then the palm is up. And what I want you to do is scoot your foot in just a little bit so that your knee is bent. Just going to show you that. And as you lift up this hand, lift up your heel, breathing. And then exhale, bring the heel down and the arm down. Now, if you want to, you can lift the foot and point it. You can either lift the heel or point the toes, lifting that foot up. Exhale, come down. So inhale, either heel or the whole foot. Exhale down, and one more breathe, and just stay here for a moment. If that's too much, you can let your leg rest. Breathe. Yeah, just naturally breathe. Feel that stretch in your right leg and your left arm, and then let go, let go, let go. Now we're just going to take the hand and the wrist rather and move it in a circle and do your foot in the same direction. So moving, since we've been pointing and doing all kinds of stuff, we're going to move the joints and rest down. Notice how that felt just by lifting up that leg, and how your arm feels just by that little bit of movement we've done. Now raise up that foot again, and this time go the other way. Just getting that synovial fluid in our joints moving, hydrating the system, I like to say. Yeah. I always think of the Tin Man, and it needs a little bit of oil. That's what these movements are. And then bring that foot down and just notice how your body's feeling. You might be saying, oh, I notice maybe that was a little too long for me to lift my leg up. Whatever you're noticing in your body, that's interoception. Okay, so we're going to take this other foot forward, that would be the left, and raise up this right hand, and you can lift up the heel or the whole foot. And then exhale, come back down again. So it's inhale, reach up, reach those toes. Exhale, settle back down. And go one more. Inhale, reach up. And can you hold this for a breath or two? Breathe. Feel your core is strong. Breathe. Feel the muscles in your leg holding that leg up. And then release and come back down. Rest your hands on your legs. And we'll take the right knee and lift it up, lift your foot up slightly, and put your hand on your kneecap. We're going to move the knee in a circular motion. So going around one way, and then go the other way. So turn around. And this movement radiates up into the hip. So again, just getting things moving, all the joints in the body. And breathe. Remember, the breath is the fuel. That's where we get our energy from. But we're bringing it in slowly, right? We're not running. We're just moving slowly. So let that right leg come down. Rest that hand and put your left hand on your knee and come around in circles. Just moving. And then we'll go the other way. If you need to pause for a moment, you can. And join me when you're ready. Coming around in circles. And feel it all the way up in this hip. Okay, and then set that foot down. Again, noticing the body, noticing how that leg feels. Breathe. Yeah. So now let's move the joints on this side. We'll take that left leg out, the right arm. We're going to move in circles. And then pause. And now we'll go the other way. So around. And then just pause, stopping right here. All right, again, noticing. Now we'll step the feet a little bit wider and we'll start to move. I want you to have your spine as upright as it can be and your shoulders away from your ears. Hands rest on the tops of your legs and move this shoulder, the edge of the shoulder, outside of the end of your knee. So you're leaning over to this left side. Come back to center, pause, and then move this left shoulder outside your left knee. Come back up. You can exhale, just kind of, now let your ear go. Maybe your shoulder drops down on that left side. Inhale back up. Exhale, move out, ear down, shoulder down, leaning. Inhale back, over, exhale. And one more, breathe and exhale, come over to this side. And then back to center. Just walk your feet in and we'll lift and release the heels a couple times. Let the hands drop off the lap, kind of shake them out. Breathe. And then rest your hands right on tops of the legs. This next pose is really comforting to your low back. It's good for your low back. And I will tell you that it feels really good if you're lying in bed. And let me show you how to do it. So you lift up the right foot and hold on to your knee with both hands. And here's one way you can remember how the breath goes on this. When you bring your knee in, the breath goes out because you're pressing up where the breath would fill in your body. So this is your exhale, and then you're inhaling when you have more space. Exhale, draw in, and your spine stays long. We're not bending over. And then inhale when we come back out. And we'll go one more. Exhale, blow that breath out. Inhale, come back out. And then just rest your foot down. Maybe you feel it a little bit in your hip or wherever you're feeling it. Just notice. And we'll move on to this side, this left side. So lifting up your foot and hands go around that knee. If you need to do it with one hand, it's not better or worse. It's just different. So we'll bring that knee in, you're exhaling, you're pushing out the breath, and then breathe in, preferably through the nose when you come out. Exhale and inhale. One more, exhale and inhale. And then just let that foot rest. Pause for a moment to notice how that felt. And if you're in your bed, you can do 2 knees at once. Same breath pattern as your knees come in, you're exhaling and then inhaling, let it come out. So we're not on our beds, but what we're going to get instead is a knee hug and enjoy it as we're sitting. So just come over and wrap your arms around your knees, let your chin drop, round your back, and hug those knees. And then just release and come back up to spine is long, and we'll bring the arms down by your sides. And then as you breathe in, I want you to bring your elbows up and touch the sides of your ribs with your fingertips. So if you can imagine, I'm a pitcher, and these are the handles of the pitcher. So they come up and then come back down, exhale. So inhale, feel the ribs lift. Exhale, let the handles come down. And go one more, inhale, lift. And then exhale, release down. Yeah. And then just return your hands to your legs. We're going to bring this right foot out, stretch, left arm, just get a nice side to side stretch. And do the other side to side, reaching. And then release, and both feet are down. Now bring your feet out wide and heels are in, and we'll get a little bit of a twist and some movement in the neck. So we'll begin by putting your fingertips on your shoulders. Feet are wide, toes are out, feet are relaxing on the floor. Draw that right shoulder slightly back, and then bring your right hand down on the top of that leg and the left hand on top of the right hand. As you breathe in, bring that arm across and open. Now I want you to bring that arm that's out, your left hand, and bring that hand on your hip or the fingers behind the hip, and turn your head the other way and look down. Bring that chin down in front of that right shoulder, and then move your head just left and right. So feel the movement in the neck. You might hear a little crick crack. As long as it doesn't hurt, it's okay. Then we'll come back to stillness. We're going to turn the head back over to where we had our arm extended. Extend that arm, and then bring the fingertips here, return to where we were, right there. So it's inhale, come up, come across the chest, bring this left shoulder back, reach, look at that hand. Now bring that elbow bent, put the hand behind you or on the hip. Turn your head the other way, look down at your right arm, and move your head just slightly left and right. All right, and then come to still, head comes back out, extend that left arm back again. We'll take that hand, bring it to this shoulder, and return back down. Now put the left hand on the left leg and both fingertips on the shoulders. This time we're going to move the left shoulder back, put the left hand on the right knee, right hand on top. And we'll inhale, come up that arm, across the chest, all the way open, right shoulders back slightly. Look at that right hand. Now take that hand, bring it on your side or a little behind you, and turn your head the other direction. Now bring the chin down and move your head like you're saying no. Okay. And then we'll come back up here, look straight forward again. Bring that right hand out again. Look. Bring the hand here on the shoulder, cross the chest, and back down on top of this left hand. So let's do that again. Inhale, come up, right shoulder back, extend. Look at those right fingers. Now bring your right elbow bends, hand on the side or on the back. Look to the left. Now look down at your left hand and move your head side to side. Yeah, not fast. Try to go slowly where you can feel notice how it feels. And then we'll come back to center. Bring that right hand back out again. Look at that hand. Bring the hand to the shoulder. Cross over to the left shoulder and back down on top of that left hand. And then we'll take that hand, bring it on over to the right leg, and that is it. Now raise up your heels and we'll bring the knees just kind of in and out. So get some movement in the hip, in the inner thigh, just moving. Yeah. And then just bring the heels down, walk your feet in, and shake a little in that right leg, shake a little in that left leg. And then we're going to come to standing. So come on up and stand behind your chair. Our next pose or poses are going to be warrior poses. In this position, I want you to stand all the way up to the chair. Now step back both feet about 2.5 feet. Okay, so my feet are about 2.5 feet back and they're about 8 inches apart. So look down, make sure that's the case. This is my left leg. I'm going to step my left leg forward and bend that knee. Bend that knee. All right. Then straighten both legs. So we're starting off like this, both legs straight. And if you're holding on to the chair, you can hold with 2 hands or one. I'm not going to hold in this position, but you can. Keep holding if you need to and do the leg movements. So my right hand is down by my side. I'm going to put my left hand on my hip. And as I bring this right hand up, I'm going to bend this left knee. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to bring that hand down and straighten the leg. And do that again with breath. Inhale, bend your knee, right hand goes up. Maybe look at that hand. Feel the stretch in the front of that right leg. Exhale down. And go one more. Inhale, come up. Pause here. Take a couple of breaths slowly, breathing and letting go, and breathing and letting go. And then we'll bring that hand down, bring both hands down, shake it out. Last pose, we use the opposite hand as we move the knee. And this time we're going to put both hands here. I have my left knee bent. And as I lift my back foot up towards the chair, I'm going to lift up that same side arm. And then bring that foot back, bring the hand back. So lift up, you're holding on to the chair, the right knee is up towards the chair. Exhale, come back down. And go one more, lifting up. And if you can, try to hold this pose for a couple of breaths. If you feel like you don't need to hold the chair, you can lift both hands or keep holding. And then we'll bring that hand down, bring that foot back, pause for a moment, hold on with both hands. And now we'll use the opposite arm. So this will be the left hand. And I want you to lean towards the chair, lift that left hand up, and lift your right foot. You can lift the whole foot or just lift the heel. And then come back down, almost like you're launching. Come up. This is warrior three. Maybe lift that leg or just stay on the ball of your foot. Come back down. And last one, warrior three. And if you can, breathe here in this pose, holding it. So it looks like this. Breathe. And then when you're ready, bring that hand down, bring that foot down, step both feet even, and we're going to shake this leg, and then we're going to shake this leg. Yes. And then just pause, and we'll move to the other side. So, are you ready? Let's do warrior on the other side. We're going to step both feet back again, about 2 feet from the chair. I'm going to step my right foot forward. And when I step the right foot forward, I want to still check, I'm going to move my chair, that there's width between my feet. I'm not balancing on a tightrope by bringing my back foot directly behind my front. Okay? Hope that makes sense. So we're starting with holding with the right hand, and I'm not going to hold the chair because I want you to see this. So I'm going to put that hand on my hip. Both legs are straight. And as I bring this left hand up, I'm going to bend my right knee. Looks like that. And then exhale down. So we're moving the breath with this. Inhale. And when you do this bending in the knee, I want you to make sure your knee is not going over your toes. You can still see the tips of your toes when you're doing that. And your upper body stays nice and up, nice and straight. And you're just moving the arm and the leg. Okay, so let's pause here. So pause in this pose, breathe. And if I let go of my side, then this is a warrior one position. And then we'll just bring both hands down, step up. We're starting back with both feet in front, and then step about 2.5, 3 feet back. Okay. And then I'm stepping my right foot forward, bending that knee. And then I'm going to raise my right hand as I lift the opposite, the left knee up, and then bring it down. So inhale, the left knee comes up, the right hand comes up. Exhale down. So if you can imagine, this is like the Charleston. If I let go, it would look like this. Up, my right arm's up. I'm holding with my left hand. My left hand goes up. My right hand's down. Left foot up, right hand up. And then I could switch arms. I hope I'm not confusing you. You can keep holding. Opposite leg, opposite arm, and then back. And you could lift up that other arm. One more up and then back. Yeah. Now, if you're holding, keep holding. Or you could go back into this warrior one position. Now we're going to take this left hand down, or both hands if you need the stability of a chair. And I'm going to reach over my chair, but I'm not going to reach so far that I feel like I'm dislocating my shoulder. I'm just doing a nice lifting up the arm. And as I do, I'm going to lift my back foot. If that doesn't work for you, you keep a toe down or the ball of your foot, and then come back down. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, and you can lift that both arms if you want for challenging. If you need to hold on, it's fine. And we'll go one more. And maybe if you're not lifting your foot, you can keep a toe down with both hands out. And then release down. We're going to step that back foot up, shake a leg, and then shake the other leg. All right, and we'll return back to seated pose. So as we settle in for the end of this class, we're going to use a mudra like we did in our other class. We used the Gyan mudra, and this one's called the Kashyapa mudra. Kashyapa. And you take the thumb and bring it in between the second and third fingers. Just tuck it in between, and then fold the fingers in. And this is a mudra of concentration. So it's supposed to bring in concentration. So feeling your feet on the floor and feel your sits bones on the chair. We rocked on them earlier, side to side. The sacrum on the chair. Rest your feet. Maybe let your feet feel a little, heavy. Let go of any holding in your calf muscles. Let the shoulders relax. Have a light hold on the Kashyapa mudra. And if you can't fit your thumb or that just doesn't work for you, just do what feels good to you. Just do what feels good. And just notice that you're breathing, right? And that you took time for yourself. And while we're here, let's bring in a breath for courage. So breathing in, courage. Yeah, feel it go all through the body. Breathing in strength. Breathing in energy. And then finally breathing in self-compassion. Feel it move in every cell of your body. And then we'll release the mudra and bring your hands together in the Anjali mudra, or sometimes called Namaste mudra, with the thumbs right at the sternum at the center of the chest, the heart energy center of the body. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure, pure light that's within you guide your way on. Namaste, friends. Thanks for spending this time with me. Namaste.